The danger of nuclear war is growing very fast. It is now considered the highest in many decades. A new and dangerous arms race has unfortunately begun. The United States, Russia, and China are all involved. This situation is extremely serious for every person on Earth. Global stability is currently under a severe and mounting threat. We must all strive to understand these new dangers. The future feels much more uncertain and perilous now. Russia's recent actions significantly increase global nuclear tensions. They have stationed some tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. Russia has also formally withdrawn from the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. Furthermore, they have lowered their official threshold for using nuclear arms. They are actively exploring new and advanced weapon delivery systems. This investigation includes potential weapons that could be based in space. These strategic moves are watched with profound and growing concern worldwide. The world is undeniably becoming a more dangerous place. China is also a major nuclear player on the world stage now. Its nuclear arsenal is reportedly expanding at a very quick pace. Some reports strongly suggest China might abandon its no first-use policy. It is now widely seen as a peer nuclear power. This development fundamentally changes the global strategic balance of power. Alongside the United States and Russia, China's ascent adds new complexity. This changing dynamic requires careful and constant international attention. The old rules of nuclear engagement may no longer fully apply. The United States is simultaneously modernizing its own extensive nuclear forces. This is a truly massive program costing over $1 trillion. It originally started back in 2010 with the aim to upgrade everything. The comprehensive plan will take at least 3 decades to complete. Some congressional commissions even recommend expanding the current US arsenal further. Project 2025, a policy blueprint, also calls for stronger missile defense. These American actions also contribute greatly to the ongoing global arms race. The nuclear age tragically began with immense and horrific destruction. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki showed its awesome, terrible power. Today, many thousands of nuclear warheads still exist across the globe. Approximately 12,121 warheads are spread among various nations. Of these, around 9,585 are currently in military stockpiles. About 3,904 of these weapons are actively deployed now. This is a stark and constant reminder of the persistent threat. The shadow of the atomic bomb still looms very large. Several nations actively contribute to the current state of nuclear instability. North Korea continues to stubbornly build its nuclear weapons program. They conduct regular missile tests, often defying international sanctions. Pakistan is steadily developing long-range intercontinental ballistic missile capabilities. Their nuclear arsenal could reach an estimated 200 warheads soon. Iran also continues its controversial uranium enrichment activities, causing concern. These specific developments are consistent sources of ongoing international worry. Each one adds another layer to the global risk. Other countries are also deeply involved in complex nuclear calculations. India is consistently building up its own substantial nuclear stockpile. France is reportedly considering establishing its own nuclear umbrella for Europe. South Korea has, at times, debated developing its own nuclear weapons. Israel maintains a nuclear program that is notably not transparent. These varied activities clearly show how widespread nuclear proliferation is becoming. The problem is certainly not limited to just a few major powers. Recent regional conflicts starkly highlight the immediate and present dangers. Tensions between India and Pakistan suddenly flared in April-May 2025. A deadly terrorist attack in Kashmir led directly to this crisis. India threatened Pakistan's vital water supplies and conducted retaliatory airstrikes. Pakistan promised a measured but forceful response, significantly raising war fears. A US-brokered ceasefire agreement narrowly averted a much larger conflict. An accidental Indian missile firing in March 2022 also showed escalation risks. A single nuclear bomb detonated over a major city is catastrophic. It would start with a blinding, searing flash of intense light. The intense heat produced would incinerate everything relatively close by. A massive and powerful blast wave would demolish buildings almost instantly. Wind speeds generated could easily exceed 400 miles per hour. Numerous fires would inevitably merge into an uncontrollable, unstoppable firestorm. Radioactive fallout would then spread far and very wide. This deadly material poisons the environment for many, many years. Even what is termed a limited regional nuclear war is utterly devastating. Consider, for example, a potential conflict between India and Pakistan. The burning cities and industrial areas would produce enormous amounts of smoke. This thick, dark smoke would rise high up into the stratosphere. It would then proceed to block out vital sunlight globally. As a result, the Earth's surface would become dangerously cold and dark. It would also become extremely dry for many years to come. These drastic environmental changes would completely destroy agriculture all worldwide. This collapse would inevitably lead to a massive and prolonged global famine. Global food production could realistically collapse for 5 years or even more. Respected experts estimate that such a regional war could kill many. 1 to 2 billion people might tragically die globally. These widespread deaths would primarily be from slow starvation. This horror could unfold within just 2 terrible and bleak years. A large-scale nuclear war would be far, far worse in its scope. Imagine a devastating nuclear conflict between the United States and Russia. This scenario could potentially kill more than 6 billion people worldwide. Again, most of these deaths would be due to widespread famine. The environmental aftermath would be globally and irreversibly catastrophic. Social order and economic systems would likely collapse completely everywhere. A US National Academies report on this is due in summer 2025. It will provide more current scientific details on these effects. Some experts still believe a full-scale nuclear war is somewhat unlikely. They often point to the sobering power of nuclear deterrence. However, these same experts also agree on one absolutely key thing. The mere continued presence of these terrible weapons is inherently dangerous. It carries an unacceptable and ever-present level of risk. A simple human error or a sudden technical failure could trigger disaster. Unstable or unpredictable leadership is another major concern in today's world. We absolutely cannot afford to become complacent about this threat. Staying properly informed is always the very first step in any plan. Understanding the complexities of nuclear tensions is absolutely crucial for everyone. We all need to follow geopolitical developments much more closely. Know which countries are currently building up their arms stockpiles. Understand the international treaties that are failing or perhaps succeeding. This essential knowledge helps us to grasp the real, tangible risks. Public awareness can lead to better preparedness and policy for all. Ignorance is simply not an option in this dangerous modern era. My own simple survival plan focuses on some key basics. First, make an effort to learn about radioactive fallout patterns. Understand where the primary danger might spread after a nuclear event. Second, try to identify potential safe shelters that are nearby. Basements or sturdy underground areas are often the best protection. Third, work to secure adequate emergency supplies for your family. This must include non-perishable food, clean water, and medical kits. Having a well-thought-out plan reduces panic and ultimately increases your chances. We must always remember the stark words of experts like Alan Robock. Any nuclear war, big or small, threatens global climate and food. The old concept of mutual assured destruction is deeply flawed. Any significant use of nuclear weapons could lead to self-assured destruction. This would inevitably make our precious planet uninhabitable for all life. The New START Treaty is set to expire in February 2026, with no replacement. We urgently need stronger arms control measures, not fewer. Our collective future truly depends on these critical choices.